In this tutorial, you're going to create a parallax tween again with some other files, some other graphics here. And this comes from the Layers magazine tutorial actually on parallax and stuff. So they've built a lot of great graphics for us. Now we're going to lay our graphics on our scene. So let's start with the background elements, which is our clouds. Just kind of throw it up there on the scene where you think it should be. The next thing we have are some houses, and I want you to note that these houses, as you look at them, they're pretty complex. If I double click on this, you'll notice they've actually given me a PNG file. So they've actually made it a little bit less memory just by making this extremely detailed object be a bitmap instead of vector. It is something that you are increasing the complexity when you have lots of vector graphics. And if it's something that's a very complex graphic, you're probably better off to use bitmap. The next thing that we have is, let's see, we've got some trees. We've got these two trees here, and those two trees could be placed on that side of the street. Then we've got some grass. Put the grass in there. You'll see the grass kind of goes to the bottom, which means now I really have to make sure I bring everything else down as well. And then we have a large tree that can go in the front as well. So what I'd like you to do is animate these layers. You may want to add some more things, like two trees maybe isn't enough. Maybe we should add a couple more trees to that layer just by duplicating the trees that are there. It's pretty easy. Just double click, go into it, duplicate the trees over, and you've increased the number of trees that you have on that layer. And what I'd like you to do is use one of the techniques to animate this. To get started, one of the things that you can do is distribute these to layers. Now you've seen me distribute to layers many times, but here's a really good example of when you might actually want to use this. All you have to do is select all the visible information. You can do Control A, right click, and choose Distribute to Layers, and you'll see I have tree, grass, two trees, houses, and clouds, all in the order that I'm going to be doing the animation. And of course that layers now that layers layer doesn't need to be there anymore, so I can just delete that. And so I am ready to do some animation. And when you're done, you should have, some sort of animation that you've created. It's not so difficult to create an animation like this using the different techniques. Now, if you do the three-dimensional animation, I do want to point out that there is a benefit to that, which is kind of cool. And the benefit to the three-dimensional look is that if you move something up or down, you actually get parallax in up and down as well, vertically instead of just horizontally. So with a file such as this one, you might get a kind of interesting look by animating a little bit of that up and down as well. So either way that you do it, please make sure that you go ahead and save your work with your own name when you're done taking off the start. And also consider that maybe 50 frames isn't long enough, and you can make your animation much, much longer just by extending it to a much, much further animation. I have 145 in mind. So you can do it however you like. You can notice that my tree only animates for a short amount of that timeline, and that's because it's a very quick tree and it goes by very fast when the tree is close to the camera. So either way that you do it doesn't really matter. So have fun and let me know if you have any questions. And go on to the next tutorial when you're done. Thanks.